The roll call. Meeting begins at 7:03 p.m.
7:03 p.m. Okay. Roll call.
Poor Luann hit a deer on her way here, so she's pretty shaken. So just give her a little leeway.
I'm a true Montanan now.
Get initiated.
Okay. Brian Eckenrod,
Present.
Teresa Sari, present. Here. Carol Almenrod, present. Josh Cook,
Present.
Mayor Wiley,
Present.
Stacy
Present.
Mills, Bo Danish, Luann Barr, here. Okay, everyone's accounted for.
All present, accounted for. Okay.
For the visitors.
There, it's on the other table over there.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, just make sure you've all signed in. I think I saw you all. All right, everybody rise. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome our two new council members, Joshua Cook or Josh Cook and Carol Almenrod for their first official meeting. The next section we will do is your visitor comments on any non-agenda items. These are anything that's not listed on the agenda that you would like to share with council. You'll be addressing the chair of the council, me. You're allowed 3 minutes to speak. If you have further comments, you can submit them in writing. Please be brief, to the point, and respectful. And you may offer any comments or issues for consideration by the council, but should not expect to interact with the council directly. They may ask questions of you for clarification. The council will decide if the issue should be placed on the next month's agenda. All right, anybody? Step up to the podium, please. State your name and where you live.
I am Mandy Johnstone. I live in Wilsall, Montana, and I'm here on behalf of the Park County Early Childhood Coalition. So we are going around the county to all of the different city governments and like Livingston's commissioners to try to drum up support for a larger countywide celebration of the Week of the Young Child. Some of the events that will be happening that week, which is April 11th through 17th, is we have a carnival that is planned in Livingston. We have different organizations that are planning things like potlucks. We have a lot of businesses that are doing things like providing coupons and free events and free family activities for young families in their places of business. The goal of the Week of the Young Child is to honor young children, and which are, ages 0 to 8, like the importance of those early years. It's also to honor the hard work of the families. We talk a lot about the importance that it takes a village to raise a child. And so the Week of the Young Family as a young child is really about bringing that village together to show our support. So I have a couple of letters here that have suggestions on different ways that organizations, city governments, and businesses can participate. So mainly I'm here today to let you guys know that we're doing this and we are going to be approaching all of the different organizations. And if there's anything that the city council feels that they would like to contribute to the efforts, that this is what is going on, they can reach out to me. My contact information is on the back here.
Excellent.
That is
Thank
it.
you.
This is
If you want to just give that to Luann, and we'll make sure it's shared with council members. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Anybody else? Yeah, Carla.
Carla Williams, 204 3rd Avenue South. Can we register our dogs online? Being that the office isn't open all the time after 5.
Yes, I believe so. Stacy, you want to fill us
Is
in?
the pup site not working?
I tried to do it the other day and it was not working at all. It wouldn't let me go anywhere.
Okay, well, we did not know that. I will get on there and take a look at it then.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Any comments to share that are not on the agenda? Last call. Okay, moving along. Minutes. Luann, would you please read the minutes into the record?
Luann, do you want me to read them or no? You okay?
I'm tough, I can do it. The meeting, the town of council meeting minutes for the town of Clyde Park, December 10th, 2025. The meeting was called to order by Mayor Sidney Wiley on December 10th, 2025 at 7. Public hearing, proposed water rate structure change, second and final hearing. Mayor Wiley opened the second and final public hearing on proposed water rate structure changes. Clerk Treasurer Stacy Mills presented a summary of the proposed resolution in Exhibit A, outlining options related to 1, reduction of gallons included in the base monthly rate, 2, establishment of new overage rates, and 3, increase to the monthly well lot fee. Public comment summary. Multiple residents supported maintaining a 3,000 gallon base allowance, citing fairness to families and moderate water users. Preference was expressed for a $5 per 1,000 gallon overage, though some supported 7 to strengthen system reserves. Concerns were raised regarding affordability for lower income residents and households that water lawns or gardens. Comments emphasized fairness, conservation, and system sustainability. No additional comments were offered. The public comment was formally closed. Council deliberation and action. Council discussed water usage data, long-term infrastructure needs, and financial sustainability. Council's consensus, 3,000 gallon base allowance for 3/4 inch meters, 12,800 gallon base allowance for 1.5 inch meters, $7 per 1,000 gallons overage rate for all meters, $23 monthly well lot fee. Motion to adopt resolution number 482 approving the revised water rate structure with Exhibit A as stated. Vote, motion carried unanimously. Council members expressed appreciation for staff work and analysis related to the proposal. Regular council meeting. Roll call. Council members present: Roger Chandler, Brian Eckenrod, Teresa Sari. Council members absent: James Walsh, Dave Sarrazin. Staff present: Mayor Sidney Wiley, Clerk Treasurer Stacy Mills, Deputy Clerk Luann Barr, CSO Water Operator Bo Danish. Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance was recited. Visitor comments, non-agenda items. Public comments included questions regarding eligibility to run for council residency requirements and MCA provisions, concerns related to appointment procedures and transparency, discussion regarding spouses serving on council and conflict of interest safeguards, clarification provided that council appointments are governed by Montana Code Annotated and that nepotism laws apply to employment, not elected office. Department and committee reports. Treasurer's report and claims. The November 2025 Treasurer's report and claims was presented. Motion to approve the Treasurer's report and claims was presented. Voted motion carried unanimously. CSO Water Operator report. CSO Danish reported on improved spring box flows, ongoing maintenance and cleanup of water facilities, chlorination levels within DEQ standards, challenges, quotes obtained for plow and sander equipment. Planning board updates included Sunnyside Meadow subdivision recommendation, boundary adjustments review, upcoming variances on the planning board. Cemetery board. Mayor Wiley summarized cemetery board activities, including FFA sign project, grant applications, veteran memorial updates, cemetery fund investments, plot price adjustments, unfinished business, snow removal equipment. Council reviewed plow and sander options and vendor quotes. Motion to table snow plow and sander decisions pending additional pricing and information. Vote, motion carried. New business, subdivision lot size variances. Council was, and this is at 312 West 5th Street. Council was asked to consider a variance due to property size. They discussed changes to DEQ sanitation rules and implications for lot size requirements. Motion to approve a variance allowing proposed lots no smaller than 17,000 square feet, subject to subdivision review and applicable regulations. Vote motion carried with Councilman Etkenrod noting approval with reservation. Urban supervisor appointment. Motion to appoint Jody Arthur as the Town of Clyde Park's urban supervisor to the Park Conservation District Board for a 3-year term beginning January 1st, 2026. Vote motion carried unanimously. Site permit 211 Main Street West. Council reviewed a site permit application for new residential construction. Motion to table the permit pending receipt of septic system approval documentation. Vote motion carried. Town property appraisal. Council discussed obtaining appraisals for town hall and related properties to elevate future options. Motion to authorize the professional appraisal of town-owned properties at a cost of $5,000. Vote motion carried unanimously. Council council vacancies. Council discussed procedures to fill in 2 partial council terms. Motion to table appointments until the January 2026 meeting and publicly post notice inviting interested residents to attend and express interest. Vote motion carried unanimously. Oath of office. Mayor Wiley administered the oath of office to newly seated officials and re-administered to the office staff and returning officials. Adjournment. Motion to adjourn the meeting. Vote motion carried unanimously. The meeting adjourned at 10:08 p.m. Thank you.
I would like to suggest a correction to the meeting minutes, that the variance applies to 203 Lathrop
Okay.
property, not the
Okay.
Fifth Street property.
203.
I know we kept
Right.
mixing those up. All right, I'll open it to our visitors if there is any comment or discussion about the minutes. It's for the recording. And the people
I know, Catherine Romy, 401 East Avenue, Clyde Park. I'm just wondering, in the minutes, it said 2 positions open on the board, but in the current agenda, just 1. I'm wondering why, or,
Yes, Brian is going to stay on the
oh,
council,
okay,
so
so,
that only leaves 1 position
Okay.
open.
perfect. I was just wondering if it was a typo or what it was.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for your comment. Anything else? Stacy?
Can
Go
I
ahead, Stacy.
respond? Can I respond about the website? I would like to show Carla something. We do have an issue with the pup site. Can you see the website?
No.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so for some reason, this page right here is not connecting. I've tried to fix it. I will have to work on it later. But if you go right here, Carla, next to pay water bill and click there, it will take you to the PayPup US site.
Yeah, it wasn't letting me do that the other day either.
Huh. Okay, well, I don't know. I can't get the dog to connect, but that will.
All right.
All right.
If you, can I just say something, Stacy, what I've been doing, because I haven't gone to.
Yeah.
If you just go to the pay.gov and where it asks for an account number, just put dog license and it'll
Okay.
go through.
Okay.
And then we can take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
You
But
bet.
that site is no longer on the website.
Yeah, you have to go pay.gov.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, back to the minutes. Nothing? All right, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes with the correction that's been suggested.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes, with the correction.
I'll second.
All right, motion made by Teresa and seconded by Brian. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Motion carries. Okay. I didn't have anyone specifically approach me with recognition tonight, but I do want to call out Kathy Romy for her engagement on our behalf on social media. We are constrained by things, but Kathy has put things out there that has helped us, and she's done so. Her engagement has always been in a very rational and meaningful way. And I just wanted to say thank you for that.
You bet.
Kathy.
Thank you.
All right, I just have a few things that I want to say. As we are beginning a new year, making a fresh start, I've been thinking a lot about community engagement, discussions, so on and so forth. And for this year, I would like to propose that we really focus and drive toward positive community engagement. When I first moved here, one of the first things that I encountered was an auction for Errol Vincent. Errol his first name? And I remember being absolutely astonished and blown away by the amount of generosity that was carried through that. And I've seen it time and time and time again. But there's this other side that that doesn't have that same spirit of generosity toward one another in our community when we have differences of opinion or whatever. And people have told me from the very beginning that in terms of what happens in this town, nobody cares. And I tried to believe that at first, and then I've come to realize that I don't think that it's that nobody cares in terms of engaging on behalf of the community. I think it's that they're comfortable and aren't giving a lot of effort, or that's the wrong word. Just not thinking about that it's necessary at that point for them to engage or whatever. But we have so much to do. We have so many uncertainties in our future on every level. I'm not just talking about our town or whatever. So we really need to take care of one another. And I do believe that we can have community engagement in a way that supports and validates one another. Even though we may have a difference of opinion, we're all working toward the same thing, which is the health, safety, and values of our community. And those values, as I have come to see them and know, are that we care for one another. We care about living here, and we have growth happening in our community, but we can continue to foster and support those values of, on a very, very simple basis, there are still people who open the door for other people when they're going into, I mean, I love that. I know it's a very simple explanation, but that kind of human connection, I think, is super important in our community. It is an especially rural value of caring for one another. And I really want to see that in everything we do, we continue to promote and support that. Okay, enough of that. 204 Miles Avenue, the Methodist Church property. I'm just going to give you a really quick update. To remind you again that the town has the first option to buy the Methodist Church, the entire property. And they are going to give us the time that we need to work through everything. So as of the last meeting, the appraisal was approved to be done, and it has been completed. I did not present it at this meeting because we're not ready to talk about it yet. So depending on how things go, the next meeting, we will have, we'll begin the next step of the discussion, most likely. will put that appraisal on the website and make it available. It's already available to you guys in the drive. It's very interesting. It was very thorough, very, very well done. And so then we will be opening up public comment on that. And then we have applied because of the deadline. We've applied with the help of Great West for a CDBG grant. I love these. It's a community development block grant. And what that is going to apply to, it's a community-based grant for various types of infrastructure projects. And one of those categories or areas is through HUD and supporting the needs of a community on the level of providing better services through like the health department, through just library, through having a space where people can receive services like, say, the COVID shots, you know, when that was going on. So anyway, the deadline is tomorrow, so we've prepared everything and submitted it. And what that is for is a professional architectural report, which is the basis that everything else that follows would be based on. So that is what we need for any other kind of grant that we're going for, of capital fundraising, so that is basically, let me see here. I don't know if I printed it, but I have a better description of what a PAR is. Okay. It's a formal document by a licensed architect assessing a building's condition, code compliance, and needs, serving as an expert evaluation for projects, legal issues, or funding, detailing existing conditions, proposing solutions, and ensuring accountability through clear descriptions and often photographs. These reports document technical findings, guide construction, facilitate communication, and provide essential evidence for stakeholders like owners, contractors, and lenders. And then what I printed out, thank you AI, is just breaking that down into more detail. Again, you'll have that in your drive, and then we'll put that on the website. So anyway, that is proceeding. That would be for a $50,000 grant that would go toward the PAR. There's a community match to that. Those can be offset with other types of things, as you know, Teresa, from sitting in on some of those grant things at the conferences. So that's just kind of telling you where we're at. I'm sorry, Carla. Thank you. So anyway, so that's kind of just where we're at and where intending to go. This is just going to be step by step by step. And thank you to the Methodist Church for giving us this time period, this opportunity. Late fees for licenses go into effect on January 31st. And those are the livestock licenses, the dog or pet license, and for businesses. And any business that makes more than $1,500 a year is required to have a business license in the town. I know there's been controversy in the past about whether the contractors and the, like food trucks and stuff, that's still an issue that needs to be addressed by the council to dial that in. So we will be, we'll be bringing that up and working on that. We did also see in the codes that there is beer and wine license and liquor license required by our town that have not been collected, not been enforced or collected. So we are working on that as well to get the for those and to assess those license fees. T-Mobile approached me this past week. It was their government services division, and they have special rates and special service for government entities that help them to facilitate better communications, particularly with emergency services. They break this down. I need to research it and figure it out more, and we would present it with the council. It's a wonderful opportunity to coordinate with our rural fire districts as well, because that could take away the need to have radio signal, which we really struggle with here, because they do have a push to talk feature, but it's also T satellite and T priority. And T satellite means that when you are out of cell phone range, the satellites kick in and you can, at a very minimum, send text message. But in most cases, and as they build out more and more towers, and T-Mobile has been building out everywhere. They have surpassed AT&T and Verizon in towers now. And they have T priority. So T satellite is included in T priority, and that means that those officials that are designated would have, like, if the system is breaking down, if it's getting overloaded because of an emergency, it's almost like having multiple lanes on a freeway, the way they explained that to me. And so everybody goes into these lanes, but those government officials that are designated that need to have priority service for emergency management would be in that fast lane. So those are things that were, and phones come with those. Part of the plan includes the latest iPhone and the latest whatever. They have given Bo one to test out that service on a priority basis. So he will report back to us on what he finds for coverage when it gets here. So, so this is, oh, and they also, I brought up Tower, and they are going to schedule a separate meeting to talk about us getting a tower in this area. So all they said is we need the land. Well, I mean, there has to be other infrastructure support, but they're like, the hardest thing for us in municipalities is getting people to give us the space to put the tower in. I'm like, we can talk. So anyway, those are things that are developing. Did I mention in the last meeting, you guys, that I was approached by Greg Coleman, and part of the BEAD project, which is part of the high-speed internet infrastructure, is working on a grant to capture that part of the BEAD project that would bring high-speed internet to this area, and that they would, so in the grant that includes us, they use our town as a base to run that high-speed internet into town for emergency services. Now, the beauty of that is we negotiated with the company who ran that long haul data fiber line through to allow us access. So if we found a franchisor that would give our town cell phone access or internet access, that they would waive the setup fee. We would have access to the egress box that is right on the corner of Highway 89 and Main Street. And then they would run that line into our town hall facility or wherever the municipal facility is. So just wanted to mention that. Council, I just want to bring to your attention that Stacy went back through our last 2 years and had, again, thank you, ChatGPT, review it all and figure out what actions did not get any conclusion.
Good.
Yes, so I'll put this in your drive. We're not going to do anything about it tonight, but I'll put it in your drive to review, and then we will decide when we're going to start addressing these things that were not concluded. Teresa, you look like.
Well, I was gonna wait for comment time. I would like us to have like a separate sheet of paper during the meeting, label action items, have somebody write it down, and then we just have a rotating sheet of paper with action items. So
Yeah, we
can
actually,
check it
Stacy,
off.
thank you, Stacy and Luann and I have talked about that as just basically as the meeting minutes are being prepared to extract out of that any ongoing, further action that needs to be taken. So, yeah, thank you. Carla, since you raised your hand, I will.
Yeah, on that grant you were talking about, what is just our part that we would have to match, not what the community has to match, what we would have to match.
When you say not what the community,
Most of grants like that, there has to be a match from the individual or the party itself.
right?
So I'm just wondering how much of a match that is.
Oh, I don't have that paper on me. I'm gonna say off the top of my head, I don't remember what the percentage is, but I kind of remember, I think it was 12,500
Yeah.
would be the match amount.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I normally don't take comments on the mayor's update, but if anybody else has any questions or wants to know, I'm happy to. Okay, thank you. Do we have anyone else online, Bo? Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, on to department and committee reports. Bo, let's turn it over to you.
The water has remained steady. We did have that internet blackout and energy blackout for quite some time. But the reservoir is back up to where it was originally, so we're running at 0.3 parts per million, leading to an overwide coverage of the town being 0.2 parts per million, which is the lowest DEQ standards for municipal drinking water standards that I can obtain. Still going on with the reorganizing and purging of obsolete and broken items in both the reservoir and the pump house. Our current chemical inventory is still good for the next 90 days. And still enacting regular purging of the water at the well house during its dormancy. Road maintenance, winter preparedness and response, still kind of in limbo with the plow equipment. I am looking at alternative options instead of buying brand new due to, money situation and trying to keep everything open in case of an emergency, especially if we have more water problems that surprise out of nowhere. So if anybody knows any good avenues for used equipment that are quality enough, I would definitely like to hear back from anybody. Did replace the yield and stop signs, but I think that the poles are proving more of a problem due to the wind. It seems every time that I rearrange it, I come back and they're still facing the opposite way. So I believe it comes down to needing solid friction versus tethering things to where they are currently. I have noticed some faulty water apparatus around the town, curb stops, meters, lid locks, etc. I do have some materials in the warehouse to be able to repair them, and I'm working on compiling a list of priority as well as replacements to submit to you guys to kind of let you guys mull over what you think should be addressed over the others. And as the mayor had mentioned, we did have the appraisal. The appraiser came to both the fire hall, the workshop, and the town hall. And I will be getting the town truck and the UTV decaled tomorrow to bring it up to compliance and standards, indicating it as a town vehicle, both of them. And all the action items I have proposed you guys is just suggestion on avenues in order for limited purchases. So plows, poles, things of that nature that we don't have currently that will need to be purchased through town funds. And we're still waiting the finalized installation of the analyzer at the well house, and it's due to grants that we're still trying to work through, and Stacy has been working on it to see if we can still get it covered under there to get somebody else to come and do it. And the determination of the water goals through Midwest, which I think is still kind of far off. From New currently.
Or will you show that binder that you
Sure.
have there?
Sure. I've also been working on, just if you guys want to see, this is all the hydrant locations, the control valves for the hydrants and the main water shutoffs and the meter pits and curb stops currently represented in the town.
What's the meter pit?
The meter pit is what we install when we put the meter in so that it's submerged and covered up with insulation. Generally, it comes right after the curb stop so that it can gauge what's coming from the city tap into the home.
I asked earlier, too, and the curb stop is what keeps the water flowing from the main into the home. Then the meter pit is where that meter is that's actually measuring it, but what you see above ground usually is the actual, it's a remote reader. We still have to read it manually. We don't have the thing yet, but it just means it's, so you don't have to lift that lid every time.
Okay.
And what did you discover, Bo?
We have a fair number less curb stops than current customers or residents, so that leaves us at a deficit to be able to control water in case of non-payment or emergencies of that nature. There's also quite a few meter pits that aren't on or facilities accessed on the outside as well. I know in the house that I was staying in when I first got here, it was actually in one of the bedroom closets. I guess it didn't matter because I was the one in charge of the water, but if something were to break down or happen, I know that most motor pits that we use have a plate at the bottom, so if it gets cracked due to weather, cold, it'll automatically shut off. Instead of flooding everything, but that still leaves a broken meter in somebody's home. If they don't check it, then we don't know it, because I can't go into the front yard and pop the lid open and, do an inspection of them without permission of the owner.
So this is a map that he created that is something we have accessible all the time. So as we discover and figure things out, he'll just keep adding to that. But it's the first time we've had like an actual map. There's still a lot of research to do to figure out, because Bob was discovering that too, that they're just some that are so far buried, even a metal detector doesn't pick it up.
Yeah.
So it's really, really conundrum, really a lot of work. Anything else, Bo? Okay. Luann?
On the BMS pay, just an update on that, we have 22 water accounts that have set up on BMS pay, which is really good, because they were looking for 10% the first month, and we met that goal, so I think we're doing pretty good. Water readings are going to be done on January 20th, and water bills will be going out on January 26th because the 25th is on Sunday. Dog licenses, I was looking at, for 2025, there were 41 residents that registered dogs, and so far for 2026, we have 21 residents that have registered for dogs. Business licenses, in 2025, we had 20 businesses that paid for business licenses, and so far this year, 6 businesses have paid for business licenses. And then I did some research and I found I need to go to make sure that I found 10 more that I need to find out if they're businesses, but there are 10 more possibilities for businesses. Chickens and livestock, last year we had 6 residents that paid for permits. So far this year, 3 residents have paid for permits. As the mayor said, the late fees start officially on February 1st, because the 31st is on a Saturday, but Sunday is the 1st, because that's my birthday, but that's just beside the point. And I'm going to be sending out this coming week, I'm going to be sending out letters to residents and businesses that paid last year that haven't paid yet. I'm going to be sending out just reminder letters that the late fees will go into effect. And then the town hall will be closed on Monday, the 19th, for Martin Luther King Day.
And that's all I have. Thank you, Luann. Stacy?
Okay, the treasurer's report for January 14th, 2026. The utility billing for December was 206 bills for $15,841.28. Received since the last council meeting is $10,327.48. We still have several out there due by tomorrow. The general checking, the last statement ended at 141,438.73. Total credits for this last statement is $48,740.76. Total debits is $65,544.34. Our ending balance at the end of December was $124,635.15. Now, the expenditures for this period were higher than typical, primarily due to the $32,019 that the truck cost on the truck purchase and the continued payments to Great West Engineering. Taxes distribution received this last month is $13,121.81. Great West Engineering, the updates on the water PER, because I know a couple of you have asked me about that. Phase 1 contracted at $85,000 for the water PER. Paid to date, at this point, we've paid $72,766.74. Phase 2 contracted at $20,000. Paid to date, we've paid $7,716. The town anticipates, and we were just talking about this today with Great West, the town is anticipating receiving approximately $55,000 in the grant reimbursement soon. And those were those grants that were approved prior to the approval of the preliminary engineering report. Any questions? This is also printed in the notes. Your council packet.
Yeah. Claim warrants?
Those are in the packet. They weren't.
Right. Does anybody have any questions on them?
And warnings, checks are going to be written. I don't have any questions. So there you go. And she'll describe what they are now. I'm sorry, can I talk for just a minute? I'm gonna show them a couple of things. When we do budgeting, we write there's a spot, you'll see where the same number will go in here twice. Right, this is not a double. This is going to this account for the park or for water. This is going into the account for. So right, so they're billed to different sections per the budget. Right. Cool. So if you do have a question, by all means ask, but a lot of times when you see doubles, that's what that is.
I actually have a cheat sheet that I'm putting together for you that I'll get to you before your next meeting that explains how all of those categories and the bar charts work.
And I do want to say, Stacy, thank you for delineating on there what were the different charges are for like the attorney for Great West Engineering. It's very, very helpful. We can see exactly what we're keeping.
You can see the fund, so you can see
The codes.
general fund.
I will say that Stacy, and this is true of anybody, that Stacy is always available to explain things. Just give her a call. You can come in here and she'll sit you down in front of the computer but I'll warn you, if you go into Stacy's world, it's worse than Alice in Wonderland in terms of municipal financing. It's just crazy.
I love to explain it. So if you want to learn, just sit down.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So then standing committees, Parks and Rec. So we still have that money outstanding, the grant money for the sport court in the park. It's a bad time of year to try to start anything. However, I'm putting out a call once again to, for people who will get together in a committee and help figure out how to do this. It's going to take, figuring out, it's just out of my wheelhouse. I don't know how to plan something like this. So I got as far as getting us some money for it. So now we need to plan out, how does it get graded out? How do you do the groundwork? There's sprinkler system there that will need to be rerouted. What's the base of the court? What's the court look like? Do we want to have one of the snap together courts or not? Maybe the deer will poop on it and it'll all stick in those little holes. Maybe we don't want that, you know? So anyway, the final report is due the end of this month, but I think we can get an extension for that. But then, you know, we'll need to get some in-kind donation or whatever. Anyway, please come to me if you are willing to help and see if we can get that new basketball court. Although we're calling it a sport court because there's opportunities to have a type of court that allows more games than just basketball.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, the clock's ticking on that one. Ordinance, we have nothing. Planning, zoning, subdivision, Teresa.
Okay, so. Our next meeting is January 20th. We're hopefully going to appoint new members. I need 2 or 3 more. I have one that said she'll stay on if I need her. At this point, I need her. I've talked to one person, I got to know. The second person, I haven't contacted yet. But, at the next meeting, we're going to also make plans for the year. What kind of projects do we want to work on? Obviously, growth policy will be on that list. Second thing on there was I followed up with, Great West Planning Department about variances and plot sizes. And remember, we had that discussion about, you know, do we really need a variance? Because once you go through subdivision planning and you plot the plats, they are now plotted.
Platted.
They're now platted. They're now
Platted.
platted. So they can be under our rules for platting, so they don't have to be under our rules for outlotting. We went ahead and got the variance because at the last meeting, we said we would, or we're gonna review that today, or hopefully approve it, but in the future, as long as they follow our platting rules, that's where we stand on that. I did have a call from Bridget Pierce. They're looking to add a home to the corner lot with the coffee shop. She said she's under the impression that there's 2 septic systems on that lot because they used to have 2 mobile homes there. I told her that, I looked through our stuff. We don't have anything about them having a business, and a home on the same lot. It would be something she'd have to bring to council, but I told her she needs to check with the sanitarian and get that, to know that for sure. I was hoping she'd have that information for this meeting, but I haven't seen that. I contacted Lawson at Park County Planning Department, and they've gotten the final draft for the subdivision regulations. And they're reviewing it now for accuracy and potential changes to the updates, but so hopefully we will be able to piggyback off them soon, because that's how we get ours. I don't know, that'd be a big grant to get for someone to do that for us, so we just use Park Counties. So hopefully we'll have that soon, and as I mentioned, 2 or 3 vacancies on the board, and I don't know why I put a number 6 on there. That's just my report.
Okay, thank you. Cemetery board, I did not receive minutes from the treasurer secretary of the cemetery board. But I did attend, and it was held on Wednesday, January 7th at 9 a.m. Marcia Leffingwell resigned as the chair of the board, but Bill Sarrazin took her place by vote of the board members. They just talked about clarification of their funds and accounts and such with Stacy. They have the Veterans Memorial. They talked about they want to open it up for people to add names, of the veterans who have been, interred in the cemetery. So they're working on that, and they're gonna put out communication about that to families and on social media and so on and so forth. They submitted a letter of interest to Park County Community Foundation for a grant to help with improvements that are needed in the cemetery. The school is going to design a metal sign that will be down at Highway 89 and Cottonwood Bench that will point people up to our historic cemetery. The wreaths across America, there are 24 wreaths donated and placed in our cemetery. And it was Ed Gilbert and Bill Saracen and Teresa Powell, who Teresa. Is that her last name? Layman, thank you. Who placed those wreaths, volunteered to do that. Okay, I'll open it up, the reports for any public comment. Carla?
Carla Williams, 204 Third Avenue South. I know I brought up, probably last summer about the yield sign at Third Avenue South and Main Street that got taken out by the snowplow and it's still not been replaced. And it's a little dangerous once in a while.
Okay,
So I'm just wondering.
okay, yeah, noted. Thank you. Anyone else? Miller, step
Before I
up.
step up, is this questions about all the stuff we just heard?
Yeah, mhm.
Okay. Tyler Russell, 301 East Avenue. I just have a couple of questions. So you bought a new truck, 32 grand, that was paid for in cash? Yes. And do you know what the total cost of the equipment is that's necessary to like bring all of your snow removal, et cetera, up to speed is?
We've gotten quotes for brand new equipment. Or
Do we know well, so you got the quote, so what's the number?
I'll get it from the other one.
I remember like one blade was 14,000.
Yeah, depends on if you go for the straight, if you go for the V plow, they have multiple different modulations. There was also Voss, and then there's Midwest.
Tracking, so we can assume though there's roughly 50% of the cash value of the truck that was paid for in cash. Roughly 15, it's 32,000. You paid for the truck,
Mhm.
32K in cash. And you need about 15,000 to have a functional piece of snow removal equipment.
Yeah, roughly 0.2.
Roughly, so about 50% of the total cash paid for the truck.
Yeah.
Tracking, okay. And so, and then the next question, just so I make sure I understand. You have more homes that have water running to them than you have the capacity to control the flow of water to those homes?
Other way around.
It's the stop.
You don't have enough stops, you can't, so there are more houses that have water that's gonna flow that you can't shut off.
Correct.
Right, than you have, okay.
That I had-
We believe we do. There's, the records are not easy to sort out. Some of the homes may have to
Do
be
you remember
inspected.
the exact
to
numbers on
determine.
that? How many you're short?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
We have to find them. That's
Yeah.
been the problem.
Yeah, and that's.
Before I specifically say this is exactly what's going on.
yeah, no, I'm just like, I'm running, I'm just,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff flowed. So. I'll save some of this. Okay. And you paid $5,000 in cash for an appraisal on city infrastructure?
Correct.
Okay, and when was that paid?
It hasn't been paid yet.
Has to be.
It was just done
Oh, it was just
and
done.
we just got the invoice, correct?
Okay, and so am I allowed to make statements? So you paid $5,000 to appraise properties that are standing here, but we don't have a snowplow in winter in town?
Well, I mean, they're separate things happening,
Completely understand.
right?
But the 5,000 for the appraisal comes out of the checking account of the town?
Yes, yes, but the decision was made to
No,
forego
I
purchasing
completely
other
understand.
things
Yeah,
that
sure.
were in the budget.
And
No.
we have a snowplow.
We
Yeah.
just want a new one?
It doesn't work very well.
It doesn't work very well.
Right.
Tracking, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for your comments.
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
I was wondering, Bo, where we're at on the sander. We were talked about getting the engine or the motor, thank you, rebuilt.
Have we looked into that?
Everyone that I've talked to, due to the state of it, it would be better to get another one to put onto the back of it than to have it rebuilt, because apparently that one's been rebuilt numerous times. I found a couple of records in there from just markings on the edge of a piece of cardboard saying that this has been replaced, this has been replaced,
Okay.
this has been replaced, and it continually comes back down. The problem is with it sitting, I guess, for the majority of the time and then not kept up with. I don't think it's past the point where I'm not a small engine mechanic, but I did go and get some feedback from people that are professional about it, and they say, yeah, about something like that, you're just gonna have to suck it up and get a replacement for it.
Okay, thank you.
Can I clear something up? Was it Tyler?
Yeah.
The $5,000 for the assessment of the town hall and the property. That's kind of under a deadline, and all of those questions that you've asked, we've discussed at length at previous meetings. But the deal there is we can't sell this property, what the mayor was talking about with the church acquisition, if that moves forward. We can't sell this property for market value. Like, we can only sell this for what it's worth.
Appraised value.
The appraised value,
value.
because it's publicly
By
owned.
law.
So we can't sell this for some crazy amount of money, maybe that, you know, somebody wants to put condos here or something like that. Like, so we had to know what it appraises at in order to move forward with the possible church acquisition. And then we have this deadline. And so that was kind of why we still need the snowplow. We talked at length about that at the last meeting, but we're under the gun here with the appraisal. And so that's why we move forward with that.
Yeah, track it.
Also, things are budgeted. We knew that we were gonna need some potential improvements.
Right.
So we budgeted for them.
Yeah, my problem is obviously I don't know what's going on.
That's
I just hear numbers and cash flows and understand how this works, and
Yeah.
I've crossed my. eyes a little
Can I
bit.
make a comment?
Yes, of course.
Well, and also the rest of the story, if we back up a little bit more, we got a $17,000 grant. This all started because we received a $17,000 grant to fix up town hall. But when the time came to start fixing it up, we found out that there were problems that may not be worth repairing. So that was part of the beginning of this whole process, is to find out what needs to be done with town hall before that money is spent.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Anything else? All right, closing.
I was gonna say, should we move to approve her claim warrants?
Next.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a tendency to
remember
forget
when
that.
we're done.
Yes, all right, closing
Well,
public
there
comment
is.
period.
Sorry.
So I put consent agenda back on, but I didn't put anything under it. So I wanted to explain to our new council members, the consent agenda is basically an administrative function so that we don't have to go through and discuss and do separate motions and approvals for every single item. That is pretty much an administrative thing. For instance, the approval of the treasurer's report and claim warrants. And we have a couple of permits down below that are being brought up again because they needed follow-up on them. And now that's done, so they basically just need approval and signature. So those are the kinds of things that we would put into a consent agenda, sort of get them all taken care of in one lump. With a consent agenda, though, you can actually request to remove an item for further discussion. And then we would move it on to the regular agenda to be handled separately. So there's always that option. Okay, so in this case, we'll just do the treasurer's report and claim warrants because it's required by the code. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report and claim warrants as presented.
I'll make a motion that we approve the treasurer's reports and claim warrants as presented.
So moved.
I'll second it.
And seconded. Ryan Eckenrod and Joshua Cook. Okay, thank you very much. Moving on.
Who
Unfinished
seconded?
business. Josh,
I did.
Joshua Cook.
Oh, we need to vote.
Hey, what? Oh, see, all in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Motion passes. All right, now this part. This is the fun part. Okay, I'll just kind of summarize an email that I sent to the council today to explain how this is going to work tonight. Stacy, to allay any misunderstanding that may have come why this process happens the way it does tonight, could you read what we looked at in the MCA earlier today?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 2 seconds.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared.
It's all right.
Are you talking about the MCA code and how this happens?
Yeah, the process of filling an unfilled position on the council.
Under MCA 744112, a vacancy in an elected municipal office must be filled by majority vote of the council within 30 days of the occurrence of the vacancy. In this case, it happened at the end of December, on December 31st. The Montana Municipal Officials Handbook confirms with the MCA that if a, wait a minute, wrong one, sorry. A vacancy occurs upon resignation, death, removal, loss of residency, felony conviction. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were going to do that. Okay. Under Montana law, when a vacancy occurs on a town council, the remaining council members have the authority to appoint a qualified individual to fill the position. State law does not require a formal application or interview process, though some councils choose to use one as a matter of local preference. The council has 30 days to make an appointment. If no appointment is made, then it's not conductive with the state law. Goes on to thing. And then we have possible questions. What would you like for me to read?
No, I mean, that pretty much sums it up, that it's an action of the council. That there is not an election, and that it depends on the local, how it can be done by letters of application submitted ahead of time, or it can be done as we are doing it tonight, calling people to just come forth. Okay, so a few other things I need to clarify. There can be no questions, discussion. Thank you, Stacy, by the way. No questions, discussion, or consideration given to any candidate based on any of the protected classes: race, religion, gender, marital status, etc. If a candidate mentions any of them on their own, we can't even acknowledge it. The appointment must be made by a majority vote of the council after a candidate is put forward or nominated for consideration by vote. Discussion, if there is a tie, there is no tiebreaker. Discussion can be resumed, or another candidate can be nominated for vote, or well, it can't really be tabled because we have to do this within 30 days, so it has to happen today. Okay. Open meeting law means that everything is subject to public observance and disclosure. We have some common questions that each of you are going to be asked. And council, if you have any questions you want to do in addition to these.
The question to manage the.
Okay, I'm going to, yeah. Let's get Josh. And did you have a copy of it?
Some, yeah.
Okay, you do, okay. If we can get Josh a copy of the rubric. Anyway. So council, if you want to add any, we can add questions, but they need to be asked equally of all candidates, okay? Stacy has kind of made a rubric that you can use to track responses or do write some notes or whatever, but keep in mind that these are public records. They are available to be viewed by request. So let me read the questions. Where am I? Did I just give them away? Okay, you need questions? Thank you.
Do you want the questions up on the screen?
Sure. Thank you, Stacy. All right. You'll be asked about it, eligibility. You'll state your name and length of residency in Clyde Park. You'll confirm that you are eligible to serve under Montana law and town requirements, which are that you are 18 years old, you're registered to vote in Montana, you are living within the town of Clyde Park for at least 60 days prior to this. You're able to take the required oath of office before serving, and you're legally eligible to hold public office. So I think this is on there because, say, for instance, you have a felony conviction, you're not eligible to hold a public office. Your motivation to serve. What's your interest in serving on the town council? Is there a particular issue or area of town governance that motivated you to step forward? Your understanding of the role. What do you understand to be the role and responsibilities of a town council member? Public service sometimes requires setting aside personal beliefs to act for the greater good. How comfortable are you with making decisions that may not be popular but serve the town as a whole? Time and commitment. Are you able to commit the time necessary for preparation and attendance at regular and special meetings and training opportunities or conferences as recommended? Do you foresee any conflicts that would interfere with fulfilling the duties of a council member? Collaboration and conduct. Are you willing to adopt and enforce open meeting laws, ethics requirements, and town policies, which include the council bylaws and town creed? And is there anything else you would like the council or the community to know as you are being considered for this appointment? All right, council, you want to take just a few minutes and sort of gather yourselves and.
Do we know who
What?
who is interested?
No,
Hey,
no.
could I have 1 minute to the bathroom?
Yes. Does everybody just want to take a minute, stand up, stretch, use the restroom if you need to before we begin this? Oh, okay. Take it. It's okay. Sorry, I'm not good.
I'm exhausted and not exhausted. I can't stop yawning. It's just my bedtime.
Oh,
Might have to throw stuff at me.
Yes. Late, there was next.
oh boy, your training.
Yeah, I'm wide awake in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, your schedule, do you do a week at a time? Is that how it is? Okay.
Hey, council members, are you?
Yep.
Are there any other questions you'd like to add to this list that come to mind? Okay, all right. Let's begin. Who would like to be the first? I know there are a couple of you out there.
I'll sign. Do I get to read from there? I don't remember all this, right?
I will read it to you. I'll read
People
the
read it
questions.
to me,
Yes.
from up there?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You're on the hot seat.
Hey, I'm comfortable.
All right, okay. First, state your name and length of residency in Clyde Park.
Tyler Russell, I think 5 years, 4 years, 4.5, something like that.
More than 60 days.
More than 60
That works
days.
for us. Are you eligible to serve under Montana law and town requirements?
I am.
Okay. And what is your interest in serving on the town council?
I have a few different directions. One, I've raised children in this community. I'm a homeowner, I'm a business owner, and so I think that I have a pretty solid vested interest in what happens at least for the next 10 years in the town. So that's really it. We'll start there.
Okay. Is there a particular issue or area of town governance that motivated you to step forward?
Yeah, I think primarily infrastructure issues.
Okay.
I can go into depth.
As much as you like, this is your time.
Would you guys want to ask me questions? Like what's?
I can't.
Oh, you can't. Oh, that's part of the rule.
If we ask you a question, we have to ask it of everyone else.
Oh, gotcha. I see. I
Okay.
see. No, yeah, infrastructure issues. I think maybe we'll get into qualifications further down the list. So, yeah, infrastructure
Okay,
issues.
feel free to elaborate. It's your
I'll
time.
wait.
Okay, all right. Understanding the role, what do you understand to be the role and responsibilities of a town council member?
Well, it would seem to be to support initiatives brought forward to the council by the mayor and to have a somewhat of an interested fiduciary responsibility for the members of the community.
Okay. Public service sometimes requires setting aside personal beliefs to act for the greater good. How comfortable are you making
I
decisions?
believe in the truth, no matter how I really feel about it.
Okay. Giving them council members a chance to write if they need to. Are you able to commit the time necessary for preparation and attendance at the regular and other meetings?
Most definitely.
All righty. Do you foresee any conflicts that would interfere with fulfilling the duties?
Most definitely not.
Okay. Are you willing to adopt and enforce open meeting laws, ethics requirements, and town policies?
Yes.
Okay. And is there anything else you'd like the council or the community to know as you're being considered?
Yeah, so I think that my history, not as necessarily a carpet cleaner in Clyde Park, but before I was a carpet cleaner in Clyde Park, I ran a very large oil trading book. I have extensive experience in hundreds of millions of dollars in managing budgets, risk, exotic finance, and venture capital, et cetera. So I tend to like maybe be a little fast and aggressive and right to it, but I tend to be able to look at numbers and understand numbers in the greater context of everything that's going on and prioritize those numbers appropriately. So
Excellent.
yeah. And I've been self-employed for since I was 24, so 18, 19 years. I don't know. And I haven't gone up, so I think I know what I'm doing.
All right.
All right, is that it?
Anything else you'd like to add?
Nope.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you, Todd. We'll just give council a moment. You guys let me know when you're ready to proceed.
I'm good, I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay,
Anyone else want to go first?
next.
Hello. My name is Austin Byington, born in Clyde Park, raised in Clyde Park, went and saw the world and then came back to Clyde Park. So a total of 20 some years I've lived here. I guess they want to ask me the question.
Yeah, I will ask you, yeah. Mhm. You did that just fine. Are you eligible? Are you eligible to serve under Montana law and town
Yes, ma'am.
requirements?
Yep.
Okay. What is your interest in serving on the council?
Just to do my part, my whole life I've had family, friends, parents on the board, and I just want to do my part, help the community and fill areas that I know are empty.
Is there a particular issue or area of town governance that motivated you to step forward?
No, there's always something. All minds have a different thought, there's there's a lot of new bodies here, there's a lot of generations here. I want to help be the middle.
Okay. What do you understand to be the role and responsibilities of a town council member?
Just to serve the community, to listen to what they have to say. And, you know, definitely there is a law abiding part that we have to go by, but I want to listen to my community and see what they need.
Mhm. Public service sometimes requires setting aside personal beliefs to act for the greater good.
Yes,
What's your
ma'am.
comfort level?
You know, there's a lot of quarrel in the world, and I feel like I'm a good center for dealing with quarrel and understanding both sides of both stories usually.
Are you able to commit the time necessary for preparation and attendance at regular special meetings? So,
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Okay.
self-employed, so I should be able to make it.
do you foresee any conflicts that would interfere with fulfilling your duties?
Unless I die.
Are you willing to adopt and enforce open meeting laws, ethics requirements, and town policies?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then this is your moment. Is there anything else you'd like the council or the community to know as you are being considered for the appointment?
I'll just, you know, I feel bad. I'd probably vote for Tyler. I'm not gonna be as knowledgeable in numbers. I own a mechanic shop across from the high school. I just tinker on a daily basis, make money for my wife and kids. I just started volunteer at the rural fire department and fought 2 fires already and love it. So hopefully this and that never cross paths, but I'm just here all the time, so I figured I could help out. And that's it, I believe.
Anything else that comes to mind?
Should be it.
All right.
Tyler.
Okay. Ready, council?
Mhm.
All right. Who's next?
Wow. All right, Kathy Romy. Do I need my address again?
No, but how long have you lived in Clyde Park?
It'll be 5 years, the beginning of February.
All right. Are you eligible to serve under Montana?
As far as I know, I am.
You're old enough?
Yeah.
What is your interest in serving on the town council?
I just, love the community, interested in serving the residents here. Yeah, I guess that's just it, just wanting to serve, so.
Excellent. Is there a particular issue or area of town governance that motivated you to step forward?
No, just serving, you know, nothing in particular, but just being part of the process and serving the whole the town of Clyde Park and the residents, yeah.
What do you understand to be the, excuse me, dang frog, to be the role and responsibilities of a town council member?
To listen to the community members, to do things that will benefit the town itself. I guess basically, yeah, just to be here to, there's lots going on all the time, I'm sure. So just finding the best avenue for everything that, comes along and is part of Clyde Park, so.
Okay. Public service sometimes requires setting aside personal beliefs to act for the greater good.
Not a problem,
Are you able to commit the time necessary?
yes.
Okay. Do you foresee any conflicts that would interfere with fulfilling the duties of a council member?
Only my bus driving. That's early morning, later in the afternoon, so I don't think it'd be a problem.
And thank you for your service
Thanks.
in that. Okay, are you willing to adopt and enforce open meeting laws, ethics requirements, and town policies?
Yes.
which include pilots. Okay. And this is your moment. Is there anything else you'd like the council or the community to know as you're being considered for the appointment?
Just that I do have a love for people. I think I deal well with people. So yeah, I just think I could be a good fit, but everybody has their own opinions, so who knows? But yeah, that's it. So,
Okay.
okay, thank
Anything
you.
else? All right. Thank you. Ready? Ready. All right, who's next? Carla. How much do we need to prod you?
Huh? How much pressure you?
How much do we need to prod you? You said,
Said I was
actually, you said
interested.
you were never
I
gonna
said I
do
was
it.
interested.
A while ago, you said, no, no.
I didn't, yeah, I did at that time. I did say no.
Uh,
For the Williams.
Length of residency.
5 years this month.
Okay.
And yes, I'm eligible.
All right. And what is your interest in serving on the town council?
I feel there is a need to try and get our town fire department back into play. It might take some time. Because right now your ISO ratings are going up. Which is gonna cause your insurance rates to go up, which if we had a fire department here would help us. So I figured that is one motivation for me for sure. I just think there's a way that we can potentially bring more business into this town.
Okay. Anything else? All righty. Is there a particular issue or area of town governance that motivated you to step forward?
There's lots of areas. I just think there's other areas that we can work on to better serve this town. And to help us with our committees. To basically promote our town. And make it better for us. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you understand to be the role and responsibilities of a town council member?
To listen to our town and bring forth what we feel that would be a good fit for us, and also that would be beneficial for the town members.
And public service sometimes requires setting aside personal beliefs to act for the greater good. How comfortable are you with making decisions that may not be popular but serve the town as a whole?
You have to listen to both sides, and so sometimes it's not the greatest thing to vote against that's something that's not popular, but if you explain to them why, it will work out in the long run.
Okay. Are you able to commit the time necessary for preparation and attendance at regular and special meetings, training, so on?
Yes.
Okay. Do you foresee any conflicts that would interfere with fulfilling the duties as a council member?
The only conflict is if there's something with my significant other or another family member, and then I would recuse myself from that situation.
Okay. Are you willing to adopt and enforce open meeting laws, ethics requirements, and town policies, which include council bylaws and creed?
Yes.
Okay. And your moment. Is there anything else you would like the council or the community to know as you are being considered for the appointment?
I've just been here for 5 years. I grew up in this valley. I ran around with all the Clyde Park kids, so I know quite a few people. And I just think this is a special town, and that, there's avenues that we can do to make it better for us.
Anything else? No? All right, thank you. Who's next?
Roger Hudson.
Yeah, we passed a resolution on that. Can't.
It's my idea.
Yes.
Did we pass that?
Mhm.
Where was I?
You were sleeping.
Yes.
Probably.
Last call. Anybody else? Anybody online? We don't have any other visitors online? Okay, council. Unfortunately, due to open meeting laws, we cannot have you go and deliberate. Your deliberation has to be here in front of all of our candidates and everybody. So this is, we'll give you some time to discuss, and then at some point, you will present the person that you want to nominate for the appointment, and then we'll take a vote among you on that. Does that make sense? Okay, all right.
This is rough.
It is rough, but they're all, you know,
They're all great candidates.
yes. And thank you all. This is like spectacular that we have this
Yes.
interest. I really appreciate it. And there will be committees, communications and event committee, parks and rec committee, and ordinances committee to begin the process of going through our ordinances and updating so they can be codified. Just keep that in mind.
Yes.
Plenty of opportunities to serve. If you guys, I mean, feel free if you want to stand up, you know, go stretch your legs or whatever, or listen. Sorry, council.
Right?
One, because you
One.
said.
Oh, there's one seat.
One seat.
Cause there was a time when we had like too many council members, we remember that, we had, because James left, and Roger left, and Dave Sarah left.
Yeah.
So that's 3 people,
Mhm.
but now we're only filling one of those
Right.
3.
Because
Oh, no, you guys. still.
two,
Okay, so
We have.
we have one
so
seat,
2 were elected for full terms.
yeah.
And this is to fill the remainder.
And then they'll run, if they
They
want to
have
stay
to
on.
run
they can
again in the next election
Oh, so
cycle.
this is just one seat
For 2 years.
for 2 years, which is Dave's.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Correct.
That's the way I was thinking.
If you don't have somebody.
That makes it hard for me, that's hard. I thought there were 2.
I just want to clarify for a moment, just so everybody understands that what the council's doing here is appointing someone to serve an unfilled term of 2 years. Okay, so it's the remainder term of 2 years. And at the end of that, then you would be able to, if you wanted to stay on the council, to run for elections. So you'll go through the next election cycle.
Whose term is that?
Dave Saracen.
Okay. Thank you. You guys have a favorite, mine was stronger. Yeah, I think Cheyenne.
Yes, I agree. I think this is back up.
Yeah.
And just from. I think just for, she's always here, when it's explaining them.
Yes.
There.
It's just the same interest. Yeah, well, seriously.
My deal is, I just wanna make sure that, we wanna spread it out. I've always said, I'd rather the young, you guys, you know. So, and I get it, I'm young. But we need older people.
And then after that, you could be mayor, and then you can go back to the council again, but you need to get a big gap so that we don't just. We're just trying to avoid that happening right here during the handle. And then mayor for 20 years, and then not financially.
Yeah. Curious, I mean, I was born and raised here in high school, curious about that, but not like, in all the sense of thoughts in any way, but I don't know if it's at some point. And somebody said. Yeah. Because I was born in, yeah, but we litigated. Because I'm guilty.
So that's my goal. Is like, I just wanna make sure that, you know, for instance, before you guys came on, you know, Roger always said as having a little, you know, I wanna make, I like having like someone who has an opinion, but is, we're willing to like, work as a team, like, you know. I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody, but you know, Dave is pretty quiet, I would say. And James was fairly opinionated, but very quiet, but accommodating. So I think it's just, I don't know how he gets these meetings when you can't get along, or it makes it hard to do your job, you know? So I would take that into consideration if you wanna have somebody that, you know, has good opinion, maybe had life experience, but you know, an age or, you know, a little bit of experience, but also someone who can get along enough.
Right now, so that's where I'm kind of really process. Because the only way I really is family handle. So I would be willing to.
Yeah, but she knows. She's always here. So here's my take on it. And I don't understand that. I just have a problem when people from kind of comes crazy. Like, you've months, years, and now all of a sudden it's where's this, why do you do this, you know, and so. When people are going to meetings and have been involved, I mean, we didn't have a choice, well, you guys were elected, so. What I'm saying.
We chose you.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Cause it happens a lot, it's like, you know, why didn't we do this? Well, we've been discussing this for literally years. And that those discussions are gonna go to the public, and there's no one.
The biggest one, and it's not, it's a partial. We've been. She might be easily swayed by other previous councilors that we remember on it. Might be a rabbi. On the other side of that, me, ultimately, see who it was like. I believe what I can see. I'm not an outlier, I'm seeing cases, but I tend to be on. I might need. Yeah.
Now, whether that's a representative on the phone, just, you know, I can't speak for that.
I'm going to say that.
Just so that.
Let's see, we're supposed to have a representative, like, half the wards from the different wards.
Yep.
So.
But if you consider that we have 5 council members, right? And so it doesn't evenly balance.
So we have
So one
got two
could be
from one,
considered,
three from the other.
or an at-large. So right now Brian's, well, I mean, your
My
resident,
side.
right,
Or-
right, and
At
technically
the
Josh,
Well,
because it's Dinsmore, Miles Avenue and Dinsmore that splits it.
oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
We have one. No, three.
No, you guys are all on the other side of
I was gonna
Dinsmore.
say, oh, yeah.
You're on my.
Okay, so Dinsmore East is one.
It becomes Dinsmore at the park. So Miles Avenue goes to Tavern and then it becomes Dinsmore.
Yeah, I thought it became Dinsmore.
Okay, so,
Comes it at the park?
so we're in the same.
Tyler's on the east. Austin's on the south.
Yeah.
Tyler's down by us and Kathy's on the south. Kathy and.
So we shouldn't take that into consideration.
I mean, technically speaking, because we have wards in our code.
Yeah.
And that's how the election is supposed to be run. However, that's, what did I read? It's not, most small communities, because of the limited number, they don't elect based on that. So it's, you're not required to appoint based on it. It just, for representation, I mean, the optics for representation look good if you've got some balance. Because it's your neighbors. Right.
I really, I do like this idea of. Over here, Shannon's in the middle. By the
I need someone up here.
But this is down here. And this. How we get us there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we need to, and I was. Yield sign on your house.
And I've always got good thoughts, and like I said, I'm clear about it.
Oh,
It's gonna be 30 minutes, and some very, I don't know, some projects. Yeah, and he explained things really well, so like, as far as. When those things need to get done, that's very positive. I've had learning for sliding happening on the book and stuff, and so I visited. I do appreciate that kind of involvement because there is a lot of people that say, I didn't hear about this, I didn't know about this, even though it's on the webpage, all over it. But I've always sort of under the impression, like, if we cover all those basics and we don't get into those units and those conflicts, you know, it's like, where else could we put it? We don't use these.
You guys know that's a meeting. Yeah, three people are having an.
It's just like, only me or you and one other council member could get together and talk about the thing without it being. So if it was like 3 of us, that's a forum, then everybody's. All right, so how do we, should we write on a piece of paper, or how do we want to do this? That's tough, honestly.
Oh, I did Brian.
Right. Oh, and Tyler lives over there too.
He's on the list.
Okay.
Wait, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lines up. This is her backyard, we're gonna have to down to the backyard of the store. Citing, on this, on there.
So really, everybody would feel that Lord idea. If we were taking that into consideration.
You know where it is? No. Through the door and around the corner. Just-
Okay. Well,
Do we vote out loud or do we vote like with the?
Tell me who you want to nominate. Or that you're ready to nominate someone.
yeah, so let me ask this, I know that Teresa,
Is this?
I would say, pretty darn good, pretty darn well, Like, so
This is gonna be bad.
are we missing anything here?
When I open a bag of jalapeno Cheetos, I can't say.
Is there one of these? There's some feel something that you don't have, or you like, are you really? Do you have?
Those are bad.
Are you really good with the numbers? I mean, you know, I mean, I'm a business owner, you know, I have for 20 years, so. I'm pretty good with that. I also put. Well, I don't go over every single, honestly, what's really important to me is like, like getting involved in the. You know, we were hard to actually. The fire department. So, I mean, for years.
Once we get, my numbers will be fine. I'll start with that. I get her.
I get it, 100.
He's about the daytime to. As am I.
He's really cool in the marketplace. They're still there.
Yes.
Think about that.
And that's where we do.
I mean, I've been, we've had. I've been here 5 years. Every single meeting. No, I didn't mind it, and I mean, it caused issues, but I appreciated that.
Right, but again, I'm getting. It means 2 years here. I appreciate that.
You know, he's showing. I don't. If you are fighting factor, but. I'm kind of like in here. Why is no one going through?
Living.
So.
This was me in the beginning.
I think it may, well, there's just no pictures. No, really, like, they don't go all the way down to. So it's. Photos.
Okay.
Also, they had a. Fire, that's not the right word. She had a head, and then she, I don't, like, her mouth down, passionate driving it. Call them, yeah. Yes.
This is just ridiculous.
I appreciate it. Did everybody get a chance to sign in? Training is huge. Training has been my understanding of everything. You know, to go to this town and find more of this town and In meetings, and learned about running the government. But it was during the weekend. That was huge.
Well, and that was one thing. You know, and all these things, when you get somebody that keeps you stretched, it's like. They don't want to. I mean, before, I know, it's like, it's so hard, we've tried those solutions, and it's just so silly. And like, I killed those years when they did the balls, and we were in between Diane and Will. I mean, it almost the amount of time, and I don't even have kids. I mean, you know.
Well, he took over the job this season.
It was just a big investment of time. Yeah, no thanks. Because I can't get it, because I was on from it. So.
It wasn't this.
I will say that that's something to think about, because you don't want to get in this thing, and you know, either, I've done it before. And no one who is it. So. I just want to make sure that you don't want to do this again. You don't want to go through it, you're saying. It's, you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that kids and both work for themselves. A lot of times, I don't know about you guys, but when you work for yourself, you're actually like easier than you are when you work for someone. Like, I don't have a Saturday or Sunday. So not that I'm complaining, I'm just see, I didn't know any of you, I didn't know these guys were even come here. So I don't, like I said, I don't know, I know a lot of stuff like that. I knew a little bit about Kathy because she's from out far. And I never would have thought. The case, people almost really get up to, you know. I mean, you know, in my time, I know it, and let's not forget the really good part is. I feel like having. How old? Oh, we're just making arguments for.
Just about.
Texted me back.
One last thing.
Yes, I know. Yes.
It's just. And I hit one at 80 miles an hour, smack dab.
More than you think. Well, I was really.
And the airbags went up. Oh my God.
I can't express it. And left console, they're like, oh, I did it. You know, like I'm not doing anything because it's way more work than you think.
Maybe 40.
So I worry about that. Yeah.
There was a car coming to the.
They're probably. I'm so done. So, I really did so much now. But it's you know, it's ultimately what you're doing. And she's jump at me, she's here, always guiding us. So it's not like, you know, it looks like you have a free victim support.
And you know, when we replace.
Right. man.
Months ago, or whatever, ago.
It just lights up the whole, whole ditch on the house.
That's why I don't know. That's why,
That makes you drunk.
I don't know. Do we, can we write it down on a piece of paper and hand it off, hand all our papers in?
We have our papers in.
Like, can we just tell you, or should we write it
Tell
down?
me when you're ready and you'll announce who you're nominating and then we'll call a vote.
And we don't discuss any of this with
You
you.
don't have to know. It's your decision.
Get Luann in here.
It's your decision. It's not allowed. It's
See,
not
now,
allowed.
this was the time when I really liked Ron.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he would have something to say about every single thing, and it would be. Is constructive the right word?
Yeah.
Okay. But I always appreciated that. Because I don't wanna be, I don't wanna like offend anyone or anything.
I know.
Just so I know. There have been people on council. It comes on you and it stresses the mayor and it just.
Get it done.
And so from experience, that's right.
No, we have water.
And so you just have to look at it. And say,
Yeah, right.
Don't know how long. I don't want to do salad. You know, Martin. He didn't say.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you didn't say we're not supposed to.
Right, right.
So,
Right.
so I don't think we can.
Yeah.
So probably be amendment.
You know.
Yeah.
It really is huge. So I would say, you know, we've heard many times too busy. Kids in own business, kids in own business, free titles.
Really?
For the And I hate to make that assumption, but it's for sure. An hour drive, there's a lot of, you know. It's a long drive.
There's a three.
All right. All right. I'm cool with
Because I
that.
went to something. Here's ready.
Ready? All right, everyone. So has finished their deliberations. All right, council, would you like to put someone, who would you like to put forth as a nomination for appointment to this?
We're gonna go with Kathy.
Kathy Romy, very good. I'll make a motion, I'll entertain a motion to. Make a motion to appoint.
Oh, make a motion that we appoint Kathy Romy to the town council.
All right. Motion made,
I will second that.
seconded, Teresa Sari and Earl Ammonruth. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carries. Congratulations, Kathy. You don't get to hide in the corner anymore. You gotta step up to the seat here.
Do I really?
Yes, yeah. Okay, before you sit down. See that? Yes.
Yeah.
Repeat after me.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
thank you. I, Kathy Romy,
I, Kathy Romy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support, defend, and
Protect.
protect the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Montana.
and the Constitution of the State of Montana,
And that I will discharge the duties of my office
and I will discharge the duties of my office
of Clyde Park Council Member
of Clyde Park Council Member
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
I have not paid or contributed
I have not paid or contributed
or promised to pay or contribute,
or promised to pay or contribute,
either directly or indirectly,
either directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing to procure my office,
any money or any other valuable thing to procure my office,
except for necessary and proper expenses
except for necessary and proper expenses
expressly authorized by law.
expressly authorized by law.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
That I have not knowingly violated any election law of the state
That I have not knowingly violated any election law of the state
or procured it to be done by others
or procured it to be done by others
on my behalf.
on my behalf.
That I will not knowingly receive,
That I will not knowingly receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or any other valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance
for the performance or non-performance
of any act or duty
any act or duty
to my office,
to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
You may add, so help me God, if you wish.
So help me God.
In addition,
In addition,
in accordance with Montana Code annotated,
in addition to the Montana Code annotated,
in accordance
in accordance
with Montana Code
with Montana Code
annotated,
annotated, okay,
2-16-114
2-16
-114.
-114.
It's not a test. I certify that my signature below
I certify that my signature below
is my true and correct manual signature
is my true and correct manual signature
and is in the exact form in which it will appear
and is in the exact form in which it'll appear
in facsimile
in facsimile
upon any document
upon any document
which I may be required or permitted by law to sign.
which I may be required or permitted by law to sign.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll have you sign this.
Oh, there's,
You got it?
we have, I need two copies of it.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Thank you, council.
That was hard.
Thank you, Kathy. Oh, I know, I know. Oh, a reminder for those of you who stood up, thank you again very much. And Communications and Events Committee, Parks and Rec Committee, Ordinances Committee, and the other one I remembered, Finance Committee. Okay, keep that in mind, Tyler. All right. So let's see if we can run through the rest of this quickly. Okay, all right. Your attention, please. Annually, the beginning of the year, we need to reappoint our department heads. So council, just so you know, I'm reappointing Bo Danish as our community service officer and water operator, and Stacy Mills as our clerk treasurer. May I have a motion to approve or to approve the reappointment of these department heads?
I make a motion, we approve the reappointment of Bo Danish and Stacy Nuss. I second it.
Motion made, seconded by Brian Eckerott and Josh Cook. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Now, council, your job is to elect a president.
Oh, I thought you wanted it.
Not me. You guys have to choose among yourselves who is going to be the president of the council.
It's I won't be true because you have.
So, the president, just so you know, of council, basically, if something happens with the mayor. Or you're unable to attend, right?
That's in my stead, yeah.
Then, that president basically runs the meeting.
Yeah, signs checks or does, basically what the mayor would do if the mayor is unavailable.
So I've been on it longer, on the council. But I would really like to still be on planning board and functioning in the planning department.
I don't see
So-
that it precludes that.
Okay,
Is it a 1 year? Does it get elected every year?
It can be, yeah.
Oh,
generally it's just been till they're under their term.
I can double check on that though, just, it may be till the end of their term,
gotcha.
but I can verify that.
I
for
would
you.
hope so, because it's kind of annoying. They have to go sign the signature part of the bank.
Yeah, yeah, and for succession.
I mean, I don't have a problem with like running the meetings and stuff, but I think from an availability perspective. That kind of puts me out a little bit,
Okay,
just because I may not be here to sign a check or,
because I am in town.
I'll entertain a motion to.
Does she get a choice? Like, are you?
We don't need her vote.
Well, I mean, I'd be comfortable with that, if you're willing.
Yep,
If you want to.
Yeah.
Make you.
no,
Okay.
I'm willing.
So I'll make a motion that we elect Teresa Sari as our new council president.
Motion made,
I'll second it.
motion seconded, Brian Eckenrod and Josh Cook. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, and Teresa Sari is president of the council. Congratulations, Teresa. Okay, this next one is, the structural inspection of town hall. And the reason that we need this structural inspection is in regard to the grant money that we have received for fixing up the town hall. It actually would be covered under those grant monies. It's $3,000. So we just need council approval to go ahead. There's a letter, again, this is in your packets, but it's actually Great West put me in touch because we've had such trouble. We couldn't get anybody from Livingston. We couldn't get anybody from Bozeman. We didn't feel that we needed to have a building inspector come out because that would actually honestly be a lot more money. And what we're looking for is just a structural review and opinion of the building. So it's Mark Lackman, and he's the principal structural engineer of Crevonin Structural Engineers out of Billings. And he and his team, I don't know what that means. I think it's one other person. Are proposing they would conduct a site visit on January 20th that provides a structural engineering assessment of the current building. Our goal would be to walk away with a summary of the overall structural condition of the building, along with some general comments on future performance and or immediate structural needs. These findings and opinions would be provided in a written report to your office for use. Fee is $3,000. Okay.
And the grant that we got to do some upgrading to it would actually pay.
Yes, we spoke with the grant administrator and she knows, she understands everything that's going on. And so, but we need approval ultimately from the grant people committee to transfer those funds to these other needs that have come up in the meantime. So this is going to be a big part of that.
Can we?
I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I have some hesitation about that unless we can get it. I mean, if it's covered under that, in that grant, I would say.
Right.
But I mean, I think Bo and,
Excuse me.
I mean, I think anybody that walks underneath this building. You got a feeling you know what he's gonna say,
Luann's desk broke in half a month ago.
yeah. So, unless,
But we can't just give our own opinion.
No, we cannot.
The grant
you
people.
have to get this.
Right, they're not gonna take our word for it.
Right.
Okay, so the grant, that's kind of a roundabout thing, but we need the appraisal, not the appraisal, we need the.
Structural
Thank
inspection.
you. We need that to be able to get the money changed to something else. But we need that money to cover this, so it's kind of circular,
It's $17,000.
right?
And so it was meant to like paint the town hall and do, because it's very rare that these municipal structural grants actually come up to where it's used to fix, repair buildings and stuff like that. But we got it. Part of that is the water thing, analyzer and stuff that's been mostly completed by now. But then the other portion of that is the $17,000. And then, so it came up, do we really want to put that money into this building if this building is, as a matter of fact, falling into the ground, which is what it is displaying many
Anytime.
many ways that it is doing that.
I think I assumed or I understood that the 17,000 would pay for that. That's what it was.
Yes,
supposed to
yes,
for me.
we could submit that for reimbursement. Stacy, step in. Just speak up.
Okay. I hate doing that.
No, do it.
Okay, so Ashley over at the Department of Commerce, she explained it to us like this. We got the $17,000 to do the carpet, to do the flooring, to do the painting, to do all the stuff that we were going to do for town hall and the electrical. We cannot rewrite the grant and then put it before the Department of Commerce for approval unless we have proof of the situation of why we can't use it for the original grant. Now, that being said, once it's gotten and we have the proof, then we can rewrite the grant, use that portion to pay for that, and then reallocate the funds towards either the rest of the water, because we need the pieces for the analyzer, so we would reallocate it for that, what is that, Bo? Bypass to the water system when we're putting in the analyzer, so we could put the rest over to there. And then to whatever we're gonna do after that.
Okay.
So was there nothing in the appraisal? I didn't read the whole appraisal. And I guess we're gonna talk about
The appraisal is value only.
value.
This is structural.
And you get a structural assessment. How is that gonna affect the appraisal?
No. They're being used for different purposes. I'll take comments in a minute, Tyler.
I'm just trying to, because I'm kind of like, well, if you get a home inspection, then you kind of look at those kind of things and.
The appraisal's done.
Yeah, and I mean, anybody who buys this is not gonna move into town hall, so I wish, I get the whole, it's kind of, now we're at this thing again where we have to do it in order to
Move forward.
to move forward,
Any other council discussion? I'll open it up for comments. Tyler, would you step up to podium? Nate,
Russell, 301 East Avenue.
thank you.
I'm just thinking now, cause I'm here. But this would fall under due diligence, and so you're paying money to, I guess the implication here is that this building is derelict and it's in disrepair. Right, so if anybody's gonna buy this, it's in the record, it's due diligence, the building is structurally unsound, the appraisal then kind of. I mean, you're gonna negotiate what you're gonna negotiate, but if you get it in the record. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't do an as-is sale and get as close to the appraised value as you want. I'm just more of a comment than it's not really a question, but. If this used to be a dry cleaning facility and then you went and found out that it was a dry cleaning facility. And it was a Superfund site potentially, that. All the other work kind of doesn't mean anything, so that's just more of a statement than a, I guess, question.
Thank you for your comment.
That was a concern.
But by approving this 3,000, that lets us renegotiate that 17,000 or, you know, get that reallocated to use that against
To
other
fix it,
needs. Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
Carla?
I'm just wondering with this grant, with that 17,000, do you have it in writing that that 3,000 is okay for this inspection?
No, it just came up today.
So you're just floating
Okay.
the 3 grand on the hopes that it gets done.
That you rewrite the grant with documentation from a structural engineer saying that that building isn't worth the grant, putting the grant money that you got, and so then Stacy rewrites the grant and says, since we already got it, we wanna reallocate that 17,000 to something else based on what the structural engineer said.
But aren't you taking that out of that 17,000, you're taking 3,000 out of it, so it'd be back down to 14,000.
Yeah.
14,000.
Okay, so here's my question,
The-
I think back in the day when Jeff Sarrazin was the fire chief, that there was an inspection done. And he had actually had done by a certified architect to redo the whole building, so there might be some documents somewhere on that. Because back then it was in rough shape, and it's just gotten rougher. So
If
between,
you know the name of the guy, we have searched through all of our records and through the safe. If you know the good name of the guy, I would love to have it, because we've been trying to find this for months.
I can ask Jeff, but I think him and Will would both know who it was. But Will might know too, but I can ask Jeff tonight when I get home. But Jeff did have a plan done by an architect.
Well, we will have to also check with Ashley and see if how contemporary it
Yeah,
needs to be.
but I would make sure and get that in writing before you spend that 3,000 on that inspection.
It all depends on what the grant administrator will do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if I could make a comment. All right,
Of
so
course.
originally when we got the SLEPA grant, we had allocated the $10,000 towards the analyzer for the water well. We bought the analyzer. 2,000 of that was our match, and then the 8,000 for the analyzer. We bought the analyzer. When they went to install it, we needed electricity put in, and we needed more parts put in. We've finally gotten the quotes for the extra parts that are going in for that now. So that is what the town is going to have to pay for. Bo, do you know off the top of your head what that quote was?
He sent it directly to you. He did not send me anything. I just went out there and physically showed him both the properties and what it was said he was needing.
It's okay, Stacy. Continue with.
Okay, anyway. Okay, so we have that money. Now, when we talked to Ashley today, our questions were this. If we can't use the money towards the fixing up of town hall, can we take a portion of that 17,000 and move it to pay for the rest of the water analyzer and all of that installation first? And then use the rest for the inspection or anything else that's used for the repair of town hall. Their answers were that they cannot promise anything until we have in writing results and it goes before the Department of Commerce committee. It's the way it is on all grants. It has to be typed up. I had to get the bids in writing for the painting of the outside of the building, for the carpet to be laid, for the reconstruction of the room in the back. All that had to go before, and it took 3 months for that to get approved. So what we're looking at right now is we're looking at $3,000 possibly going towards this inspector and the $14,000 that are left to finish the analyzer at the pump. I will have to rewrite everything and move it back over to the well house. If we don't do it, that's a choice too. That's another option. I can try to rewrite the grant and see where we can go from there.
What's the timeline for the grant? And how often do they vote?
The
For how
grant was, the grant timeline was at the end of 2024.
But for you to submit a new grant, how long would that take potentially?
We don't know because it's a change of grant. It would be a
Right.
change. So there's no documented timeline on that.
Is it 30 days? Is it? No, but it's like, typically like, well, she's done.
It's okay. This is kind of on an as-need basis right now. Since it is a change, like a change order on a construction thing or whatever, it's a
Yeah.
change order, so it has to go through its own process on their end.
Boy, almost, if you have to plow the road to the water facility? Yes.
So what's the timeline look like? If we don't do this inspection, how long do we have to use that 17,000?
Our timeline originally was to have all construction complete by the December 2026.
So basically, just to clarify what Stacy is saying is that, that 17,000, we have to figure out what we're gonna do with it and have the work completed by the end of 2026. Because of the condition that we've all seen or that we know about of town hall, the question became, is it worth it to put that money into this property? Especially now, it is tied into this thing with the Methodist Church and selling this property potentially, which would, by the way, bring in a much higher tax addition to our tax base because it would then be taxed as commercial property. Right now, there is no taxes received on this property or the Methodist Church property. So, if we are going to do a change of the grant allocation, it would include what needs to be done on the remaining part of the water, that potentially $3,000 structural, which is going to tell us really what are we dealing with here. And then any remaining funds would be up to the council to decide how we're going to use these. One thought is if we do have to exit this building, it would be used to set up temporary offices in the Methodist Church. So, and so there is this clock ticking on that as well. There's moving parts. It's not impossible. And, but this is where that piece of it stands. Make sense? Okay, Tyler?
Was it known that the building was condemned before you wrote the original grant application?
Nobody knows that it's condemned.
Yeah, I know, but it sounds like everybody knows it's condemned,
Well, assuming. Nobody can say that it's condemned.
Was it assumed before the grant was written?
No.
Yeah.
We knew that there were problems, but
And we also didn't know that the Methodist Church was gonna be for sale.
And what's the sales price on the Methodist Church?
$425,000.
And what's the expected proceeds for the sale of this property?
The appraisal appraised out, this is including the shop property, the lots behind that attached to it at 600 and I want to say 90, but I might. It's 600 something.
That's the market value?
No, the appraised
What's
value.
the market value on it?
I don't know.
And it doesn't matter because we can't sell it for market value, we
Right.
can only sell it for appraised
Or
value.
appraised value. Up to appraised value. Becca.
That depends on 406 lot, 406 lot road. How about, are they gonna do a construct? They're gonna look at the church and make sure it's sound and everything's there. Why sell one piece of crap building and buy another piece of crap building? So I mean, are they gonna do their part and pay for structural and everything else? And let the townspeople see it?
No, I mean, if you're buying anything, a house or
If I'm buying a
anything.
house, I wanna make sure.
Well, yeah, but you pay for that, not the
No, the
church.
seller does.
For the
I make sure the seller. pays for the-
structural.
Yeah,
I mean, that's, all of that can be negotiated.
is it going to be done?
And I would say that the church is setting up a lockbox and is going to give me the access to those buildings. And just with a quick prior notice to the realtor who's part of that committee, I can take anybody through for tour. We'll tour here. We'll give
That's not
tours of
answering
this,
the
we'll give
question.
tours of the church,
Are we
we'll
gonna
give
make,
tours.
was it structural? Are they gonna pay for somebody to make sure it's structural, not the town?
The church?
Yeah, the owner of the
I
church,
don't
if they're
know.
selling it.
I can't answer that.
That's
would have
something to
to
look
be
into,
asked.
because I mean, why should we have to pay for another structural thing over there?
That's part of what the PAR does,
The PAR does,
the Professional Architectural Report.
that we have to pay for.
Well, yeah, but it's what everything else is based on. Let's stick with the issue. It's getting late. I have other things I need to do.
You keep changing
What?
the subject.
No,
whenever
I'm
anybody
not.
asks
I'm not.
questions.
I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay focused.
I know so much,
And-
and I'm asking a question. You want it this place, this building to. So I'm asking, are they gonna have that building?
I can't tell you that. That is for the council. The council has heard your comment. That's for the
And
council
it feels
to
like they have the same
discuss.
questions I do.
And yes, but it's for the council to discuss. And it can be put on the next agenda. Right?
Will it be? Cause you keep saying, oh, I don't know, we'll pay for it.
But I can't say that. If you want the Methodist Church to pay for a structural, then they have to be asked. We have to know what the answer is. The council has to. Right, it's
Yeah,
the
I mean,
same
we're
kind
so
of,
far away from that.
We are
We're
so
trying
far.
to decide if we're gonna do a structural,
thank you, Becca.
we're trying to decide if, cause we're all in at this point, right? We just paid the 5,000 for the appraisal. So we're kind of rolling with that now. And in order to keep moving forward, we have to kind of have this structural assessment of the property. And that's how this goes. I mean, that's how real estate works. Like
Right.
you go all in when sometimes it just happens. And so that's what we have to decide. And yeah, if we're taking a chance, can we rewrite the grant? Maybe. But we need the structural engineering report in order to rewrite the grant. Or the other option is do nothing, take the 17 grand, fix this place up,
Be done.
and lose the 5,000 that we paid for the appraisal.
And maybe it
That's
falls
the
in
chance
anyway.
it took anyway though.
Yeah. Carla?
When did we get this grant? When did you get notified that we got that grant? And we haven't done anything with anything?
Stacy?
We've done a lot with it. We've bought the analyzer for the well house. What did you
So we
say?
have 17,000 to spend yet on the building. Why have we not done anything before now?
Because in August, we got the grant officially on May 9th, 2025. It was awarded after the rewrite. Okay. When we gathered the contractors to do the work and they started getting ready before the winter hit last year, they found some issues that needed to be addressed and they were not comfortable moving forward.
Okay.
Those are the issues that we've tried to address. Since then, we've contacted Park County, we've contacted other people to try to shoot for someone to come look at the building. This was long before the church was a consideration or that we knew it was for sale. We looked for someone to come look at the building. We were shooting for around $600, we were hoping, and we didn't find anybody. And those architectural engineers or things that we contacted wanted a lot of money.
Okay.
So right now, we've got this hanging out here with contractors that have put in bids, and I understand their hesitation. Since then, Luann's desk started going through the hard floor in the office.
Question, have you had anybody supply you with an estimate to, like, they said, we're not comfortable with this? But you don't know what this costs to repair, is that correct? They said, we're not comfortable proceeding because there are these issues? Have you quantified those issues in dollar terms?
No.
No. And so is that what you're hoping to do? With
This is what we
3,000?
were trying to get some help with
This
from the
is what I'm saying.
structural.
Yeah, so you're gonna
Yes.
spend 3,000 to find out what the issues are.
Yes, we
Okay.
know that in the past, they did some work on the foundation along the
Yeah.
building here, but that work is coming apart now.
Yeah.
These joists don't sit on the foundation anymore.
Is there any debt service on this building?
Debt service? No.
Right, so this is just what it is. And so then, maybe to clear it up by asking a different question, and so. The proposal, or the ideal situation would be to acquire the Methodist church, put this on the market. $690, great, you're gonna cover it, goes to the coffers. And you just bring on new debt service for the Methodist church, correct?
If needed,
You got 400 grand to buy it?
but it would be covered by the sale of this.
So what happens if?
Is
you
there a
sell
buy
this
sell
and it
provision?
sells that? And it's
I'm
not
sorry.
going away?
Two things at once.
Is there a buy sell provision, like you'll buy that once this sells, because that would make.
None of that, it's cart before the horse.
Yeah.
Cart before the horse. We
okay.
have to know what we are
So you
actually
spent 20
dealing.
grand to figure out what you.
Yeah.
They track. That makes sense, I'm not.
No, what we're doing is, this whole Methodist church thing just came up, so. We took the 5,000, we have somebody who's interested, we discussed it at last month's council meeting, maybe the month before that, we discussed it at that meeting. And the council at the time voted to move forward with the appraisal, so it was a group of people. Because we had an interested buyer, because the new church was for sale, because we thought it would make sense, because this building is presumably too far gone.
Yeah, right.
So now there is no the church is giving us time, and so they're not putting it on the market for whatever else to be built there, or they're letting us figure all this out, and that's what we're trying to do.
And the interested buyer, did they submit a letter of intent, or is it just verbal?
So far, it's verbal.
Okay.
I don't know, I almost wanna call point of order, but. Can I make a comment?
Yes,
Okay, well, I mean.
it's
I-
your
why-
meeting,
keep
Teresa.
asking me
It's
that.
your meeting.
I have to say to
Council.
you guys. I really appreciate the comments. But the discussion is supposed to be at the table, we are supposed to discuss. We hear your questions, we hear your comments. Technically, we're not supposed to be answering questions from anyone until it needs to be addressed on an agenda. Everything we're supposed to be discussing right now is at $3,000. And to be I'm getting frustrated, sorry, I don't usually do this. To be answering a bunch of questions that we already answered in other meetings detracts us from what we're trying to accomplish tonight.
What's the point of having meetings if you're not going to answer the questions?
That is not up to me, that is up to the MCA. And all this was discussed last month at the last meeting. We discussed all of this, but the point is, we have an agenda we are legally required to follow, period. But we can take people's comments into consideration and add them onto the agenda. Heck, if we had to have a special meeting, we could have a special meeting, but
It's not an open floor discussion,
no,
but we can make comments on the agenda items at the podium, correct?
yes, and then we can discuss what you said.
I know how to go forward.
Yes, thank you.
But they'll shut you down if they don't have the question.
No,
That's
Yeah.
not true, Becca.
but the point is, we have to stay on track. That is legally what we're required to do.
And so, yeah, you can make a comment before you guys vote.
Yes, absolutely.
Can I make a comment and summarize it?
That's up to the
Okay,
mayor.
so since we're in open comment period, we'll continue to take your comments, but I'm going to close it very shortly because I also want to be respectful of the council's time and it's getting late. Yes, please step up to the podium.
So it would seem, Tyler Russell.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
So I'm just gonna summarize what I'm hearing and then make a comment on that. So you spent 5 and you need to spend an additional 3, which is 8. We can assume that if you can continue on this path, at least roughly, you're gonna do similar things with the Methodist Church, which is about another 3, right? 3 to 5. So we're talking about a total outlay of $11,000 to $13,000 to evaluate the suitability of this potential sale purchase, right? I'm just making that statement, just
Mhm.
trying to summarize it. So here, and then like in that statement, I'm looking at numbers and so I will make a statement that it seems silly to me to spend 30 grand in cash on a truck when you could take a portion of that $30,000 and finance it to outfit a suitable snow removal vehicle and sand spreader. What I'm hearing a lot of frustration around is talking about carts and horses is a priority being spent on on offices that don't get that much use. That's my opinion. Versus, hey, we got a shitty truck and a salt spreader that's beyond repair, or a sand spreader that's beyond repair. Maybe make sure that when we do get snow, that we can plow the streets and make them safe to use, and not put so much emphasis on a real estate deal that's going to take a lot of time and a lot more money. Is that fair? Okay.
Thank you for your comments. All right, I'm closing open discussion period. Council?
All good comments.
Very good comments, a lot to think about.
Yes.
Do we table it to think about it more? Do we, I mean, I unfortunately don't wanna lose this 17,000, the ability to rewrite and keep this grant. Even though it's not a definite thing, I get that. But I don't know, it's a hard choice.
There's always a cost of doing business. And we've got to keep this workable until we can find a solution. And it's been put off for so long, it just needs to be done. I think we need to spend the 3,000, find out what we need to do, and then we'll know what we're dealing with, because otherwise it's all conjecture. And unfortunately, it means spending money, because nobody does anything for free. Right? Any other opinions?
No, I feel that way too, I think we have to do it.
Well, we have to, but we should.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we spend the 3,000 to get the inspection, structural inspection. Thank you.
Motion made. Teresa, sorry.
Did you?
I second it.
Seconded by Josh Cook. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next up, variance for the Jones Lot Division at 203 Lathrop. This is pretty much an administrative thing. This is just literally to approve, and well, actually the variance has already been approved, so this is really just to sign. Is there anything else we need to do in this? Yeah, because it's been approved. Okay. Stacy?
Nope, it's all been approved.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right, and then the Bond Traeger site permit at 209 Main Street West. Do you have that? All right, this is the one that came up at the last meeting that did not have the septic permit attached.
Oh, perfect.
They brought it in. It's all good to go. I can pass it around if you want, or if you remember, and
Do we still have to initial it?
Yep. But I need a motion to.
Town code says it has to, they do have the actual certificate.
They have the actual certificate for the sanitation, for the septic?
Yeah, it's a good. It should be. Yeah, it isn't.
This, no,
No, it's this.
this is the actual certificate. Approved. Okay, yep, it's in there. And then
Do you need a
the,
chance to review it?
I'd like to work on it.
okay. Pass that around for initials.
Do we all
Yep,
Including Kathy.
yeah, welcome to the official.
Can't remember what they're doing. They're doing a home.
With a garage and a deck,
Yeah,
right?
good memory.
Sidewalk down
Well, it's 2 doors down.
Yeah, yeah. So last week, they didn't have a septic. And where's this at, approval?
It's, you know where my mom and dad are at
On where?
Main Street?
No.
Yeah, the second block down,
It's right next to Tom.
That's where they, yeah, oh, okay. 211 Main. Is that a septic?
No.
Oh, no, that's okay.
This is something.
Does it say how big your house is gonna be?
it was, we talked at the last meeting. It wasn't real big.
Okay.
Remember that?
It's approved for a 3-bedroom. Oh, that's still. Oh. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Wondering how big the house is. Does it say how many bedrooms?
No, house, yard, Greenfield. It looks like. 32 by 40.
So Luann, have these guys applied for their water permit?
So he estimated it's 1,200 square feet, it's for a 3-bedroom home, so the septic's approved for a 3-bedroom home, and if it's only 1,200 square feet, that would fit with the homes. You hear if I sign the initial.
Go ahead.
Hey, thank you guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank you. Okay, all good? There you go. Okay, thank you. Next up, new business. You're under new business. I will pass this. This is in your drive. This is all available. This is the Peterson Partition Act letter from Judge Gilbert. So dear Mary Wiley and Clyde Park Town Council, I'm writing to you concerning a court order concerning partition of real property issued in Park County, cause number DB, blah, blah, blah. Ellen M. Peterson and Leslie E. Peterson plaintiffs versus Daniel S. Crane, and Anita Crane defendants. The plaintiffs filed their amended complaint against defendants seeking partition of their subject property on September 19th, 2025. The defendants both acknowledged service on September 20th, 2025, but did not answer or otherwise appear, resulting in an entry of default by the clerk of court. A copy of the preliminary partition survey is attached here to as Exhibit A, which partitions the subject property in accordance with the terms of the order concerning partition. My order concerning partition requires that the final survey be prepared in accordance with the applicable sections of the Montana Subdivision and Plating Act. The court intends to order the division of real property in the manner set forth upon the enclosed exhibit pursuant to MCA section 76-3-201. Pursuant to said statute, I am hereby notifying you as the governing body of the pending division and requesting you to present written comment on this division. If I do not receive written comments from your office within 10 days of the date of this letter, I will assume you have no objection to the proposed partition. Upon entry of the court's decree of partition and the filing the final partition survey, parcel 2A-1-A, consisting of 2.419 acres, shall be owned by defendant Anita Crane. Parcel 2A-1-B, consisting of 0.667 acres, shall be owned by plaintiff Leslie Peterson. Parcel 2A-1-C, consisting of 4.121 acres, shall be owned by plaintiff Alan Peterson, and parcel 2A-1-D, consisting of 0.643 acres, shall be owned by defendant Daniel Crane. Upon the entry of this court's decree of partition, a final certificate of survey will be recorded with the Park County Clerk and Recorder's Office for the purpose of implementing this partition. Thank you for your attention in this manner. Yours sincerely, Brenda Gilbert, District Judge. So this is a joint, a co-owned situation, and they are now deciding to partition that into separate ownership.
Becoming like a family conveyance of sorts.
Of sorts, but they don't call it that.
Here's the property they're talking about. I can get my pen to write on it. And that's what that section is.
It's basically that section down the sort of the field behind where the Peterson's house is, and the property goes across the creek. So that part is county, and the county has signed off on this. So we're the next step that needs to happen. And the judge is just looking for if there are any comments that she needs to take into on behalf of the town into consideration.
So what is
before the final?
A, wait, where's A? Is this A? No, there's A.
It's
that's across.
2A-1-A and 2A-1-B, and then there's 1C and 1D.
So this part is A. I'm drawing over someone's picture, I'm sorry. This is all A, this is B, and that's C.
And then there's D, the little square in the corner.
Yes, okay, so what we need to know is, does it fit our outlot? Because it's not being subdivided, so it has to fit our outlot.
Right, the acreages are there.
They're all over half an acre.
Yep.
So they're all over 20,000 square feet.
Nobody knows.
I mean, I'm not really sure I'm kind of confused on this. What can we contest here?
They just want to make.
If it would be against any of the town codes, like the size of the lot or anything, if, I don't. She's just giving us an opportunity to give her feedback. So what I need is a motion to send the judge a letter saying no further discussion, or these are the comments we want to make on this. Per her request.
Yeah, I don't see where you could contest that if they're all over 20,000 square foot.
Right.
Parcels, basically.
Yep.
Okay.
So I make a motion that we
send the judge a letter.
Send a letter with no comments
no further
action regarding the Peterson Partition Act.
Perfect. Motion made by Brian Eckham.
Second that.
Seconded by Teresa Sari. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you.
I was confused on that.
Yeah, this.
Okay, now just a couple of other administrative things. So the Spallone boundary adjustment. This has been ongoing. It's basically just redoing the boundary between the cabin here and then the open lot over there, because I forget what was wrong with the boundary, but they're just like straightening it out between the two lots.
And do we have a septic? Do we,
We don't need it for boundary line adjustment.
no, we don't, we
Mm-mm.
don't.
Yeah, we need that. We need.
So.
Say again, Stacy?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you did, sorry.
It's probably feedback. So, do we know how big that lot is? And that's what that paperwork is that we're gonna see, right?
Yeah, I don't know
Okay,
what it
okay.
is. Let's move on while we're waiting. So there's a chicken permit and a livestock permit, so they are both very straightforward for chickens at 303 Lathrop and 10 horses at 8 Brackett Creek.
That's Shannon,
Mhm.
roll calls.
Okay. So chicken permit?
Okay.
Basically for chickens, they have a privacy wood fence around it.
So, 6.
Motion to approve?
Yeah, I mean,
I thought we just signed it. Is there nowhere to sign on there, is there?
Yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Yep.
Do we make a motion to do that?
no, we just signed it, at least in the past, for chickens, I thought.
That's.
And then what is I don't have my code book, I do remember there being a size requirement per horse.
There's an acreage,
There should be acreage.
there's acreage per 2 horses. I thought
I
it was
think
a
it's-
half acre per 2
I
horses.
think it is something like a half acre per 2 horses, so.
Sorry.
I asked that question and apparently they're able to use the properties that they sold until the subdivision is started.
Even at that, they'd just need 5 acres if it was a half an acre per horse,
Yeah.
which they easily have.
Technically, don't want to contradict, technically their property is like 4 point something,
With it,
but they use that entire 16.
Yeah, it's just they're renting.
Yeah, they have 14 acres that they use.
Well,
Being very
yeah,
generous.
but I mean, he could start cutting roads in there, I mean, I don't have any problem with this, but I'm just saying, you know. Technically, that isn't his property anymore, and we don't have anything in writing from Sunnyside subdivision saying that he can have his horse. I mean, I want the horses on that property. I enjoy it. I would prefer it, but legally, you know, can we say, yeah, you have, I mean,
Shannon will call it / Jeff Bradner.
oh, well, Jeff Pratt.
The land intended for pasture. Yeah. And who knows, at some point, they may not all be there when the daughter goes to college. I mean.
Well, I guess he's only gonna start on the first 5, so, or 6, so they'll still have that other 10 to frolic. Yeah. Okay, so we just need the boundary adjustment here?
Yep, I'm printing the map of it and, let me make sure that John didn't send us anything else with that.
I have it up if you want me to put it on the screen.
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
I know, I've seen that somewhere. We received an email. There we go.
Certificate of survey, that's all we've received from John. The same. That I needed to present it to you, to the council.
Okay, so we are,
Actually moving it over this way. Sorry, what was that?
well, I'm just curious, are we approving this adjustment? I mean, I'm not quite sure what we're,
It says, read it,
It's in this email from him.
oh, I guess I can pull that up.
it's been reviewed by George Borneman, who's the planner that John Hess uses. So if he had any concerns, he would have.
I don't know if you got it. They
Brought
were
this up
asking,
already.
never mind. Did it go to everybody or you guys just asked?
No,
Can
we
you-
were.
Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so here's the old boundary line right there at the edge of the back of the porch on that house. They're moving the new boundary line over to the existing fence. That's the boundary line readjustment. Here's the old one.
So 3 lots. Good.
This is things.
Here's, yes,
Okay.
the fence. This is the old boundary line and the whole house sits right on it. So they want to move it over to like with the fence. Our town codes say that you need to have 3 plotted lots. So they fall within like. Yeah.
That kind of still.
I can't read this, I gotta do it. Bo, do you have anything, I just don't see why this would be an issue, unless. So who owns the fence?
They do.
He owns both.
Oh, he owns the
Yeah,
boat.
yeah.
The paperwork
This
says
is-
the owner is retaining both properties. He just wants to split it.
Adjust the boundary.
Yeah.
It was already 2 different properties.
Oh, excuse me. Yes.
Right. We just have to approve that. We just let them know that we.
I mean, there's a meter in there somewhere,
Mhm.
right on that. Around that fence. But I don't know where the meter, I forget where the meter is for the old pharmacy. Is that on the property? Like, is that up by the house more? Cause there's a meter box right on the road right there.
There's each lot has its own water service.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see, so do we need a motion for this or?
Just that you approve the certificate of survey as it is.
I make a motion, we approve the certificate of survey. For the Spallone boundary adjustment.
Motion made,
I second it.
motion seconded, Brian Rod and Joshua Cook. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, any opposed? None opposed, motion carries. Well, that concludes the business meeting portion of January's council meeting. We're just gonna do a quick bit of council training. You're welcome to stay if you like, or if you're tired and wanna go home, feel free to go. Thank you all for
I think we
attending.
still have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I
Yes.
do have a question. Did we have to motion the Bontrager site permit approval? Because I don't know if we did or.
No, that was just an administrative. Thank you for bringing that up. Meeting adjourned, motion quick.
Adjourn the meeting.
Thank you. Seconded. Meeting adjourns at 9:56 PM.
Thank, where Austin goes.